Amara's hand gripped the armrest of her chair so tightly her knuckles ached. She'd never met Senator Adeyemi in person. Chidi had kept his criminal associations carefully separated from his home life, but she'd heard his voice on the news countless times. Smooth, authoritative, the voice of a man who believed the world owed him obedience. "Senator," Amara said, keeping her own voice steady, "I have nothing to discuss with you. You should leave my property." "Your property," Adeyemi repeated, and she heard amusement in his tone. "You mean your father's property? Poor Chief Nwosu. Such a sudden death. Heart attacks are tragically unpredictable in men his age." The implication hung in the air like poison gas. He was confessing without confessing, daring her to accuse him. "What do you want?" Amara asked coldly. "I want to help you, Mrs. Okonkwo. You're in a difficult position. Your husband has been arrested on very serious charges. The EFCC is making wild accusations about money laundering and corruption. You and your daughter are in hiding, surrounded by armed guards. This must be terrifying for you." "I'm not afraid of you," Amara lied. Adeyemi laughed. "Of course you are. You'd be foolish not to be. I'm a powerful man, Mrs. Okonkwo. I have friends in the presidency, in the judiciary, in the military. I can make problems disappear, or I can make them much, much worse." "Is that a threat?" "It's a fact, but it's also an opportunity. I'm here to offer you a way out of this mess." Amara heard Deputy Commissioner Obi shift beside her, heard the click of the recording device being adjusted. Every word Adeyemi spoke was being documented. "I'm listening," Amara said. "Drop all charges against your husband. Withdraw your cooperation with the EFCC. Tell them you were confused, traumatized, that you misunderstood what happened at the bank. In exchange, I'll ensure your husband serves minimal time, maybe 2 years in a comfortable facility, not a Kuwait prison. When he's released, you can divorce him quietly, take your inheritance, and live your life in peace. And if I refuse, then I'll destroy you," Adeyemi said simply. "I'll tie you up in legal battles for the next decade. I'll have journalists dig into every aspect of your life. I'll find every skeleton in your family's closet, and every Nigerian family has skeletons, Mrs. Okonkwo. I'll make sure your daughter can't get into any university in this country. I'll make sure your father's business reputation is shredded. And when I'm done with the legal approach, well," he trailed off significantly, "you'll kill me," Amara finished. "Like you killed my father." "I've killed no one," Adeyemi said smoothly. "I'm a senator, Mrs. Okonkwo. I serve the Nigerian people. Any accusations otherwise are baseless conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories backed by evidence." Deputy Commissioner Obi interjected, speaking into the intercom for the first time. "Senator, this is Deputy Commissioner Obi of the EFCC. This conversation is being recorded. You should stop talking." "Commissioner Obi," Adeyemi said, and now his voice carried genuine surprise. "I didn't realize you were there. How's your brother doing? Still teaching at the University of Lagos? Such a prestigious position. Would be a shame if something happened to it." Amara heard Deputy Commissioner Obi's sharp intake of breath. Adeyemi was threatening her family now, making it clear that no one was safe. "Senator Adeyemi," Amara said, drawing his attention back, "let me make something very clear. I will not drop charges against my husband. I will not stop cooperating with the EFCC. And I will spend every naira of my $600 million inheritance making sure you rot in prison for what you've done." Silence from the intercom. Then Adeyemi spoke, and all pretense of civility was gone. "You blind fool. You have no idea what you're starting. I've dealt with bigger threats than a disabled widow and a self-righteous EFCC commissioner. I've made governors disappear. I've buried journalists in unmarked graves. You think your money will protect you? Money only works if you're alive to spend it. Then kill me, Amara challenged. Do it right now. Come through this gate and kill me in front of all these witnesses, in front of EFCC agents and security cameras. Show everyone exactly who you are. I don't need to kill you personally, Adeyemi said. Car accidents happen. House fires happen. Random robberies happen. Lagos is a dangerous city, Mrs. Okonkwo. Terrible things happen to people every day. And every single one of those terrible things will be investigated, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. If anything happens to Mrs. Okonkwo or her daughter, you'll be the first person we arrest. We have this conversation recorded. We have evidence of your connection to Chidi Okonkwo's criminal enterprise. We have witnesses ready to testify. You're finished, Senator. Am I? Adeyemi said. Commissioner, how many cases have you brought against me in the past 2 years? 5? 6? How many resulted in convictions? 0. Because I'm untouchable. Because I own half the judges in Lagos and most of the politicians in Abuja. You can't beat me. No one can. My father thought he could beat you, Amara said quietly. That's why you killed him, isn't it? He was getting too close to your operation. He'd figured out how you were moving money through his steel contracts. He was about to expose you. For the first time, Adeyemi didn't have an immediate response. The silence stretched. Your father was a stubborn man, Adeyemi finally said. He refused to play by the rules. He could have been part of our network, could have made billions. But he wanted to be righteous, to be clean. In Nigeria, righteousness is a death sentence. So you killed him, Amara pressed. You or one of your people. You tampered with his medication or poisoned him or something. I did nothing, Adeyemi said. Chief Nwosu had a heart attack. Natural causes. The death certificate says so. We're exhuming his body tomorrow, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. Full toxicology screen. If someone poisoned him, we'll find it. Another long silence. Then Adeyemi laughed, a cold, calculated sound. You're really going to do this, aren't you? You're really going to war with me? Yes, Amara said simply. Then you should know what war with me looks like, Adeyemi said. Your daughter, Chioma, she's a beautiful girl. 15 years old, smart, promising future. Would be tragic if something happened to her. If she was kidnapped, maybe, or assaulted. Terrible things happen to young girls in Lagos. Chioma gasped beside her, and Amara felt rage explode in her chest. If you touch my daughter, she started. You'll what? Adeyemi interrupted. You're blind, Mrs. Okonkwo. You can't protect her. You can't even see danger coming. How do you expect to keep her safe from me? I'll kill you myself, Amara said, and meant it. I don't care about consequences. I don't care about prison. You threaten my daughter, and I will find a way to end you. Brave words, Adeyemi said. But words don't stop bullets. Words don't stop knives. Words don't stop a Lagos street mob that's been paid to make someone disappear. This conversation is over, Deputy Commissioner Obi said firmly. Senator, leave this property immediately. If you don't, I'll have you arrested for making terroristic threats. You can't arrest a senator, Adeyemi said smugly. Actually, I can, Deputy Commissioner Obi replied. With evidence of imminent threats to a protected witness, I have the authority to detain even sitting senators. Would you like to test that? I'm leaving, Adeyemi said. But Mrs. Okonkwo, before I go, let me tell you something. Your father made the same mistake you're making. He thought he could beat me with evidence and righteousness. He died believing he'd won. But I'm still here, and he's in the ground. Think about that. The intercom clicked off. Amara sat in stunned silence, her heart pounding. She'd just had a conversation with a man who'd openly threatened to kill her and her daughter, a man who'd essentially admitted to murdering her father. "We have him," Deputy Commissioner Obi said with satisfaction. "He said too much. Those threats, the implications about your father, it's all recorded. Between this and the other evidence, we can build a case. He'll claim he was speaking metaphorically," Ademla said, "that he never actually threatened anyone." "Doesn't matter," Deputy Commissioner Obi said. "Juries understand context. Combined with everything else, this shows his intent, his willingness to use violence. It shows who he really is." "He's still at the gate," Ademla reported, watching the monitors. "He's making a phone call. Looks angry. He's calling his lawyers," Deputy Commissioner Obi said, "or his political allies, or arranging for actual violence. We need to increase security immediately." Amara felt Chioma trembling beside her. She pulled her daughter close, feeling the girl's fear radiating like heat. "Mama, he said he'd hurt me," Chioma whispered. "He said terrible things. I won't let anything happen to you," Amara promised, though she had no idea how she'd keep that promise. "I swear on your grandfather's grave, I'll protect you." "Mrs. Okonkwo," Deputy Commissioner Obi said gently, "I need to ask you again. Are you sure you want to continue with this? After what you just heard, after those threats, no one would blame you if you decided to take your daughter and leave the country. We could arrange it within 24 hours. New identities, new lives. You'd be safe." Amara thought about it. Really thought about it this time. She could take Chioma to London, maybe, or Canada. They could start over. Chioma could finish school without fear. Amara could learn to navigate a new city without the constant terror of assassination attempts. But then she thought about her father, working 18-hour days to build a business that employed thousands of Nigerians. She thought about all the other women trapped in marriages like hers, unable to escape because they had no resources, no support, no hope. She thought about every journalist who'd been killed for telling the truth, every whistleblower who'd disappeared for speaking out, every ordinary Nigerian who'd been crushed by corrupt politicians like Adeyemi. If she ran, she'd be one more person who let evil win because fighting back was too dangerous. "No," Amara said firmly. "We're staying. We're fighting." "Mama," Chioma started to protest. "Listen to me," Amara said, turning to face her daughter's voice. "Your grandfather didn't build his fortune by running away when things got hard. He faced down armed robbers, corrupt government officials, business rivals who wanted him dead. He taught me that some fights are worth the risk. This is one of those fights." "But Grandpa died," Chioma said quietly. "He died fighting Adeyemi." "Yes," Amara agreed. "And if we do nothing, his death means nothing. Adeyemi wins. Chidi gets away with attempted murder. And every other corrupt politician in Nigeria learns that they can do whatever they want because people are too afraid to stop them. I don't want to be brave," Chioma said, and now she was crying. "I just want to be safe." Amara pulled her daughter closer, feeling the weight of what she was asking from a 15-year-old girl. "I know, baby. I know. And if you want to leave, if you want to go stay with your Aunt Ngozi in Canada until this is over, I'll arrange it. You don't have to stay for this." "And leave you alone?" Chioma said. "No. If you're staying, I'm staying. We're Nwosu women. Grandpa always said we're made of steel." Despite everything, Amara smiled. "Yes, we are. This is very touching," Deputy Commissioner Obi said, "but we need to make practical decisions. Senator Adeyemi just left the gate, but he'll be back. Maybe not personally, but he'll send people. We need to fortify this compound, establish protocols, and prepare for a siege." "A siege?" Amara asked. You think it will come to that? I think we should prepare for the worst, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. Ademola, I want 24-hour guard rotations. No one enters or leaves without my personal authorization. Install additional cameras, motion sensors, and I want snipers on the roof. Snipers? Chioma squeaked. This is a war now, Deputy Commissioner Obi said bluntly. Adeyemi declared it when he came to this gate and made those threats. We fight like it's a war, or we lose like it's a war. Amara heard movement around the room. Security personnel receiving orders, equipment being deployed, the machinery of protection grinding into action. What about the exhumation? Amara asked. My father's body? We'll do it tomorrow morning at dawn, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. Quietly, before Adeyemi can interfere. I'm bringing in a forensic team from Abuja, people I trust completely. If your father was poisoned, we'll know by tomorrow afternoon. And then we move fast. We arrest everyone connected to Adeyemi's operation. We freeze all his accounts. We issue warrants. We make so much noise that he can't silence us without exposing himself completely. He'll fight back, Amara said. Of course he will, Deputy Commissioner Obi agreed. But he's not the only one with resources. Your father was one of the richest men in Nigeria. He had connections too, honest politicians, clean judges, military officers who hate corruption. I've been making calls while you were talking to Adeyemi. Help is coming. There was a knock on the security room door. Ademola opened it to reveal a tall man in military uniform, his bearing suggesting high rank. Mrs. Okonkwo, the man said, his voice crisp with authority. I'm General Musa. I served with your father during the Civil War many years ago. He saved my life in Enugu. I've come to return the favor. Amara stood up, overwhelmed. General Musa, I thank you. But this isn't a military matter. Your father called it the war that never ended, General Musa said. The war against corruption, against men who bleed Nigeria dry. He fought that war his entire life. Now it's our turn to fight for his daughter. How many men did you bring? Deputy Commissioner Obi asked. 20 of my best, General Musa replied. All veterans, all loyal, all disgusted by what men like Adeyemi have done to our country. We'll secure this compound. Nothing gets through us. Amara felt something shifting in the room, a sense of momentum, of forces gathering. She wasn't alone in this fight. Her father's lifetime of integrity had earned him allies, and those allies were rallying to protect his daughter. Senator Adeyemi has friends too, Amara warned. Powerful friends. So did we, General Musa said. The difference is our friends actually believe in something. His friends just believe in money. When things get difficult, when the consequences get real, Adeyemi's allies will abandon him. Ours won't. I hope you're right, Amara said. I know I am, General Musa replied. I've fought real wars, Mrs. Okonkwo. I've seen what happens when corrupt men finally face justice. They crumble. They're not as strong as they think they are. Deputy Commissioner Obi's phone rang. She answered it, listened for a moment, and her face went pale. What is it? Amara asked. That was my office, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. Chidi Okonkwo was attacked in a Ikoyi prison 30 minutes ago. 3 inmates stabbed him in the recreation yard. Amara's breath caught. Is he alive? Barely. He's in surgery now. The attack was coordinated. All 3 inmates have connections to Senator Adeyemi's organization. Adeyemi tried to kill him, Chioma said in shock. He tried to kill Daddy. He's cleaning house, General Musa said grimly, eliminating anyone who can testify against him. If your husband dies, Mrs. Okonkwo, a major witness is gone. Will he survive? Amara asked. The doctors don't know yet, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. But even if he does survive, this sends a message. Adeyemi can reach anyone, anywhere, even in prison. The reality of their situation settled over the room like a heavy blanket. They weren't just fighting a corrupt politician. They were fighting a man who controlled prison guards, inmates, judges, and police officers. A man who could order someone killed in a maximum security facility and face no consequences. What do we do? Amara asked quietly. We go on offense, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. We stop reacting and start attacking. General, can your men be ready to move within the hour? Where are we going? General Musa asked. Senator Adeyemi's house in Ikoyi. We have a warrant to search it for evidence of money laundering. We're executing that warrant tonight before he can destroy anything. You think he'll let you search his house without a fight? Amara asked. I think he'll try to stop us, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. Which is why we're bringing soldiers. Legal soldiers with proper authority, but soldiers nonetheless. If Adeyemi wants a war, we'll give him one. Can I come? Amara asked. Absolutely not, Deputy Commissioner Obi and General Musa said in unison. This is my fight, Amara protested. My father, my husband, my inheritance. I should be there. You should stay alive, Deputy Commissioner Obi countered. Mrs. Okonkwo, you're not a soldier. You're a witness. Your job is to survive long enough to testify. Let us do the dangerous work. She's right, Mama, Chioma said. Please don't go. Amara wanted to argue, wanted to be there when they raided Adeyemi's compound, wanted to see justice served with her own eyes, except she couldn't see, and that was the problem. She'd be a liability in a dangerous operation, a blind woman who needed protection rather than providing it. Fine, she said reluctantly. But I want updates. Every hour. Every hour, Deputy Commissioner Obi promised. Ademola, you're in charge of security here. No one in or out except our people. Mrs. Okonkwo and her daughter stay in the main house, away from windows. Yes, ma'am, Ademola said. As the room cleared, as General Musa's soldiers took up positions around the compound and Deputy Commissioner Obi prepared for the raid, Amara sat with Chioma in the sudden silence. This is really happening, Chioma said. We're really at war with one of the most powerful men in Nigeria. Yes, Amara agreed. We really are. Are we going to win? Amara thought about her father, about his strength and stubbornness, about the way he'd faced down every challenge with absolute certainty that righteousness would prevail. Your grandfather used to say that steel doesn't bend, it breaks. But when it breaks clean. No rust, no corruption. Just a clean break that can be forged into something new. I don't understand, Chioma said. It means we fight until we break, Amara explained. And if we break clean. We don't compromise. We don't negotiate with evil. We fight until we win or until we can't fight anymore. That's terrifying, Chioma said. Yes, Amara agreed. It is. But it's also the only way to live with honor. The only way your grandfather would want us to live. They sat together in the darkness of Amara's world, listening to soldiers take up positions, listening to the night sounds of Legos filtering through bulletproof windows, listening to their own hearts beating with fear and determination in equal measure. Somewhere across the city, Deputy Commissioner Obi was leading a raid on a senator's house. Somewhere in Ikoyi prison, Chidi Okonkwo was fighting for his life. Somewhere, Senator Adeyemi was planning his next move. And here, in this fortified compound, a blind woman and her daughter waited for morning, waited for answers, waited to see if justice was possible in a country where corruption had reigned for so long. The stakes have never been higher. Will the raid on Senator Adeyemi's house reveal the evidence they need? Will Chitty survive the assassination attempt? Comment below what you think will happen next. Don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter. Dawn came with the sound of helicopters. Amara woke from restless sleep to the rhythmic thump of rotor blades cutting through humid morning air. She and Chioma had spent the night in her father's bedroom, the largest and most secure room in the compound, with a Demla stationed outside the door. "Mama, what's that noise?" Chioma asked groggily. "Helicopters," Amara said, sitting up. "Multiple helicopters." The bedroom door opened. "Mrs. Okonkwo," Ademola said, "you need to see this. I mean, you need to know what's happening. Turn on the television." Chioma found the remote and switched on the flat-screen TV that Amara's father had installed, but she'd never used since losing her sight. "What's on the screen?" Amara asked. "News," Chioma breathed. "Mama, it's everywhere. Every channel. Read it to me," Amara commanded. Chioma's voice shook as she read. "Breaking news. EFCC raids Senator Adeyemi's Ikoyi residence. Massive corruption evidence seized. Senator's daughter Kemi Adeyemi arrested at the scene. 13 people in custody, including 2 judges, for police commissioners, and multiple business associates. The EFCC commissioner is calling it the biggest corruption bust in Nigerian history." Amara's hand flew to her mouth. "They did it. They actually did it. There's video," Chioma continued. "They're showing agents carrying boxes of documents out of the senator's house. Mama, there are so many boxes, and computers, and briefcases full of foreign currency. The news anchor says they found over $50 million in cash hidden in the house." "What about Senator Adeyemi?" Amara asked. "Is he in custody?" "The senator himself is claiming parliamentary immunity," Chioma read from the news tickers scrolling across the bottom of the screen. "He's at the National Assembly right now, demanding an emergency session. But his daughter Kemi is being arraigned this morning on charges of money laundering, conspiracy, and accessory to attempted murder." "Attempted murder?" Amara said. "Who's attempted murder?" Her phone rang. Deputy Commissioner Obi's voice came through, exhausted but triumphant. "Mrs. Okonkwo, we got him. We got all of them. Tell me everything," Amara demanded. "The raid went perfectly," Deputy Commissioner Obi said. "Adeyemi's security tried to stop us, but General Moose's soldiers convinced them to stand down. We found everything. Ledgers documenting bribes to government officials, contracts showing kickback schemes, offshore account information, communications with Kemi about your husband's fraud operation, and best of all, we found evidence about your father." Amara's heart stopped. "What evidence?" "Emails between Adeyemi and a private doctor discussing handling the Chief Nwosu problem. References to digitalis poisoning disguised as a heart attack. Instructions for disposing of evidence. Mrs. Okonkwo, we have enough to charge Senator Adeyemi with your father's murder." Tears streamed down Amara's face. "You're certain? The emails are explicit. The doctor has already been arrested. He's singing like a bird, offering to testify in exchange for a reduced sentence. He admits to switching your father's heart medication with a lethal dose of digitalis. It causes heart arrhythmia that looks exactly like a natural heart attack. My father was murdered," Amara said, the words feeling both devastating and vindicating. "He was murdered, and now we can prove it. Yes. And there's more. We found evidence connecting Adeyemi to the mechanic who tampered with your car. Bank transfers, text messages, everything. We can prove that Adeyemi ordered your attempted murder too." "Why?" Amara asked. "Why did Adeyemi want me dead? I wasn't a threat to him before the accident. Your father was investigating him," Deputy Commissioner Obi explained. "Adeyemi knew Chief Nwosu was getting close to exposing his money laundering operation. He tried to have your father killed first, but the chief had too much security, too many protections. So Adeyemi went after you instead, thinking that would distract your father, make him vulnerable. The plan was to kill you, then kill Chief Nwosu while he was grieving and distracted. But you survived the accident, and before Adeyemi could try again, your father changed his will and put protection measures in place. So he killed my father first, Amara said, then waited for his chance to steal my inheritance through Chitty. Exactly. Your husband was always part of Adeyemi's network. The car dealerships were fronts for money laundering. Chitty was in debt to Adeyemi, over 100 million naira. When Adeyemi's daughter Kimmy got involved with Chitty, it gave them the perfect opportunity. Marry Chitty to Kimmy, steal your inheritance, split the money between them, and eliminate you permanently. A family business, Amara said bitterly. Father and daughter working together to destroy lives. Kimmy is singing too, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. She's trying to make a deal, claiming her father forced her into everything. She says she was never really in love with your husband, that Adeyemi ordered her to seduce him and manipulate him into divorcing you. She says the fake pregnancy was her father's idea. Do you believe her? Amara asked. No. The evidence shows she was an active participant. She helped draft the fraudulent inheritance documents. She accompanied your husband to the bank. She made the threats against Chioma at school. Kimmy Adeyemi is as guilty as her father. Chioma spoke up. What about Daddy? The news said he was attacked in prison. Your father is alive, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. He's in critical condition, but the doctors say he'll survive. The 3 inmates who attacked him have all confessed to being hired by Senator Adeyemi. That's another charge, attempted murder of a witness. How many charges total? Amara asked. Against Adeyemi? Over 40 counts. Money laundering, corruption, murder, attempted murder, conspiracy, fraud, witness intimidation. He's looking at life in prison, Mrs. Okonkwo. Multiple life sentences. And his parliamentary immunity? The National Assembly is voting on stripping his immunity this morning. With the evidence we've presented, with public outrage at its peak, they have no choice. Even his political allies are abandoning him. No one wants to be associated with this scandal. Amara allowed herself to feel something she hadn't felt in 3 years. Hope. Real, tangible hope that justice might actually be served. What happens now? She asked. Now we prepare for trial, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. It'll take months, maybe a year. Adeyemi will fight every step. But we have him, Mrs. Okonkwo. We really have him. And me? Chioma? Are we still in danger? Less danger than before, but not safe yet. Adeyemi still has people loyal to him, people who might try to retaliate. I'd recommend you stay in protective custody for at least another month, until we've rounded up all his associates. A month, Amara repeated. A month living in lockdown, surrounded by guards, unable to leave the compound. But a month was better than a lifetime looking over her shoulder. There's one more thing, Deputy Commissioner Obi said. The exhumation of your father's body is scheduled for this afternoon. We already know what killed him, but we need the physical evidence for trial. Are you still comfortable with that? Amara thought about her father, about his body being disturbed, being examined, being turned into evidence. But then she thought about justice, about making his murderer pay, about honoring his memory by finishing the fight he'd started. Do it, she said. My father would want the truth. After hanging up, Amara sat in silence while Chioma continued watching the news coverage. Every channel was covering the raid, commentators calling it a watershed moment for Nigeria, speculation about how many other politicians might be implicated, interviews with corruption experts praising the FCC's boldness. Mama, Chioma said suddenly, They're showing our house on TV. What? Our house in Ikui. There are reporters outside. They're saying it's being seized as evidence of Daddy's fraud. They're showing pictures of Daddy being arrested, pictures of Kimmy at the bank, pictures of you and me. Pictures of us? Amara asked sharply. What pictures? Someone leaked photos from the bank's security cameras. They show you refusing to sign the documents, show Zainab the cashier reading them aloud, show Daddy getting arrested. Mama, you're famous. They're calling you the blind widow who brought down a senator. Amara felt a chill. Fame was the last thing she wanted. Fame meant attention, meant scrutiny, meant becoming a target. Are they showing our faces clearly? She asked. Yes. And they have our names. Mama, everyone in Nigeria knows who we are now. This was dangerous. Adeyemi might be in custody, but his allies would see these broadcasts. They'd know exactly what Amara and Chioma looked like, exactly who to target if they wanted revenge. Ademola, Amara called. The security chief appeared immediately. Ma'am? The media has our faces, our names, everything. We're exposed. I saw, Ademola said grimly. I've already contacted Deputy Commissioner Obi. She's working with the media to get the images removed, but it's too late. They've been shared across social media, news websites, everywhere. Half of Nigeria has seen your face by now. So what do? We increase security even more, Ademola said. And we prepare for the possibility that you might need to relocate. General Musa has a military facility outside Abuja that's completely secure. It might be safer than staying in Lagos. Abuja, Chioma said. But my school, my friends, my life is in Lagos. Your life is worthless if you're dead, Ademola said bluntly. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. Senator Adeyemi's organization is vast. We've arrested dozens of people, but there are hundreds more who haven't been caught. Any one of them might decide to strike at you to send a message. Amara felt the walls closing in. She thought that once Adeyemi was exposed, once justice started moving forward, they'd be safe. But safety was an illusion. In Nigeria, corruption had deep roots, and cutting down one tree didn't eliminate the forest. I need to talk to Uncle Emeka, Amara said. I need advice. Director Okafor is downstairs, Ademola said. He arrived 20 minutes ago with your father's lawyer. They need to speak with you about the estate. The estate, Amara said. In all this chaos, I'd almost forgotten about the money. The money is why this all started, Ademola reminded her. It's also going to be your greatest weapon going forward. Come downstairs when you're ready. After Ademola left, Amara sat with Chioma in the quiet bedroom. Are you scared, Mama? Chioma asked softly. Terrified, Amara admitted, but also relieved. For the first time in 3 years, I feel like I can breathe. Like the nightmare is finally ending. Or just beginning, Chioma said. Daddy's in the hospital. Grandpa's being exhumed. A senator is going to prison because of us. Mama, our lives will never be normal again. Normal was overrated anyway, Amara said, trying to lighten the mood. Normal was me trapped in a marriage with a monster, pretending everything was fine. This might be dangerous, but at least it's honest. They went downstairs together, Chioma guiding her mother through the familiar corridors of her father's house. In the living room, Uncle Emeka and a man introduced as Barrister Okoro were waiting with stacks of legal documents. Amara, Emeka said, embracing her. You did it. You brought down Adeyemi. Deputy Commissioner Obi brought him down, Amara corrected. I just refused to sign a paper. You did much more than that, Barrister Okoro said. You stood up to one of the most powerful men in Nigeria. You risked everything for justice. That takes extraordinary courage. or extraordinary stubbornness, Amara said. My father always said I was too stubborn for my own good. Your father was also extraordinarily stubborn, Emeka said with a sad smile. It's how he survived 40 years in Nigerian business. And it's how you'll survive what comes next. What does come next? Amara asked. Legally, many things, Barrister Okoro said. First, your father's estate. With Senator Adeyemi's arrest and your husband's criminal charges, there are no competing claims on your inheritance. Everything passes to you directly. The $600 million, the properties, the businesses, all of it. That's a relief, Amara said. However, Barrister Okoro continued, you need to make immediate decisions about how to protect these assets. With your public exposure, with your involvement in this case, you're going to be targeted by everyone. Fraudsters, kidnappers, opportunistic relatives, politicians looking for funding. We need to set up trusts, establish security protocols, and create a financial structure that protects you and Chioma. How long will that take? Weeks, maybe months. It's complex work. In the meantime, I'd recommend you have very limited access to the funds. Take what you need for immediate expenses, but don't make any major financial decisions until we've secured everything properly. What about Daddy? Chioma asked. What happens to him? Barrister Okoro exchanged a glance with Emeka. Your father will almost certainly be convicted on multiple charges. He's looking at 20 to 30 years in prison. The question is what happens to his parental rights. I want them terminated, Amara said immediately. I don't want him to have any legal claim to Chioma. We can petition for that, Barrister Okoro said. Given his criminal conviction, his attempted theft from you, and the evidence that he endangered both you and Chioma, a judge will likely agree. But Chioma is 15, old enough that her opinion matters. The court will ask her what she wants. All eyes turned to Chioma. The girl was quiet for a long moment, then said, I don't want him to be my father anymore. He tried to kill my mother. He stole from my family. He worked with murderers. I don't want anything to do with him ever again. Then we'll make it happen, Barrister Okoro said gently. I'll file the petition this week. There's one more thing, Emeka said carefully. Amara, with everything that's happened, with all the media attention, you've become a symbol. A symbol of standing up to corruption, of fighting back against powerful men. People are going to want things from you. Interviews, speeches, endorsements, donations. You need to decide how public you want to be. I don't want to be public at all, Amara said. I just want to take care of my daughter and live in peace. That might not be possible, Emeka said. Not anymore. You've stepped into the spotlight, and stepping back out won't be easy. Amara sighed. She wanted justice, wanted to honor her father, wanted to protect Chioma. She'd never wanted fame or attention or to become a public figure. But Emeka was right. She'd changed the narrative, changed what was possible, shown that even powerful men like Senator Adeyemi could be held accountable. That meant something in Nigeria, where corruption had been accepted for so long as simply the way things are. I'll think about it, Amara said. Right now, I just want to know that we're safe. You're as safe as we can make you, Emeka promised. But Amara, true safety only comes when all of Adeyemi's network is dismantled. That's going to take time. A commotion outside interrupted them. Shouting, car engines, the sound of the compound gate opening. Ademola rushed in. Mrs. Okonkwo, we have a situation. Your husband's ambulance just arrived at the gate. He's demanding to see you. Chidi is at the gate, injured but alive, and demanding to see Amara. What will she do? Comment your predictions below and subscribe for the next chapter. The story is reaching its climax. The living room erupted in chaos. Absolutely not, Emeka said immediately. Amara is not seeing that man. He's been stabbed 3 times, Ademla reported. He's bleeding through his bandages. The prison guards say he checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice, commandeered an ambulance, and came straight here. How did he know where we were? Amara asked. The news reports, Chioma said. They've been showing this compound all morning, saying you're here under EFCC protection. Amara stood up, her heart pounding. Chitty was here. The man who tried to steal her inheritance, who'd worked with her father's murderer, who'd terrorized their daughter, he was at her gate, bleeding and desperate. What does he want? She asked. He says he needs to talk to you, Ademla said. He says it's about Senator Adeyemi, that he has information that will help your case. It's a trick, Barrister Okoro said. He's trying to manipulate you again. Maybe, Amara agreed. But what if he really does have information? What if he knows something that could strengthen the case against Adeyemi? You don't owe him anything, Emeka said. Let him talk to the EFCC if he has information. But Amara was already moving toward the door. I need to face him. I need to look him in the eye. She caught herself. I need to confront him. After everything he's done, I deserve that. Mama, no, Chioma said, grabbing her arm. Please don't go near him. I won't go to the gate, Amara said. But I'll talk to him through the intercom. I'll hear what he has to say. Ademla, set it up. 5 minutes later, Amara was back in the security room with Chioma beside her and Ademla monitoring the cameras. Through the compound's intercom system, she heard her husband's voice, weaker than before, pain threading through every word. Amara! Thank God! Amara, please, I need help! I'm dying! You're not dying, Amara said coldly. You were stabbed, but the doctor stabilized you. You checked yourself out of the hospital, which means you're well enough to travel. I had to come here, Chitty said. I had to warn you. Amara, Adeyemi has put a hit out on you. 2 million naira to whoever kills you before you can testify. I heard about it in prison before I was attacked. Amara's blood ran cold. You're lying. You're trying to scare me into letting you in. I'm not lying, Chitty said desperately. Why do you think I left the hospital? I'm in danger too. Adeyemi thinks I'm going to testify against him. He had me attacked to send a message. The only reason I'm alive is because the guards intervened. But he'll try again, Amara. He'll keep trying until I'm dead, and you're dead, and anyone who can testify against him is dead. He's probably right, Ademla said quietly. A 2 million naira hit is consistent with Adeyemi's previous operations. We've documented similar bounties on journalists and whistleblowers. So what do you want from me? Amara asked Chitty. Protection? Money? Forgiveness? All of it, Chitty said, and he started crying. Amara could hear it through the intercom, broken, desperate sobbing. Amara, I know I can't make up for what I've done. I know I've destroyed our marriage, destroyed your trust, nearly destroyed you. But please, please don't let me die. I have information about Adeyemi's operation, bank accounts, names of politicians he's bribed, details about contracts I helped him launder money through. I can help you put him away forever. In exchange for what? Amara asked. A deal with the EFCC. Reduced sentence, witness protection, a chance to survive this. And, he hesitated, and maybe someday, a chance to earn back some small part of your forgiveness. Not as your husband. I know that's over. But as Chioma's father, I want my daughter to know I wasn't all bad, that in the end, I tried to do the right thing. Chioma made a disgusted sound. He's manipulating you, Mama. It's what he always does. I know, Amara said. But she was thinking strategically now. If Chitty really did have information about Adeyemi's operation, information beyond what the FCC had already seized, that could be invaluable. It could mean the difference between Adeyemi getting 20 years or life in prison, between some of his co-conspirators escaping or being caught.
"Put Deputy Commissioner Obi on the phone,"
Amara said to Ademola.
"She needs to hear this."
Within minutes, Deputy Commissioner Obi had been patched into the intercom system. She listened to Chitty's offer in silence, then said,
"Mr. Okonkwo, if you genuinely have information about Senator Adeyemi's operation, we're interested. But I need specifics. Give me something concrete right now, something we can verify. Prove you're not wasting our time."
Chitty was quiet for a moment, the sound of his labored breathing filling the intercom. Then he spoke.
"Adeyemi has a private server hidden in his mistress's apartment in Victoria Island. Her name is Blessing Oakley. She lives in the Eco Pearl Towers, apartment 2404. The server contains encrypted files on every politician he's ever bribed, every contract he's manipulated, every murder he's ordered. It's his insurance policy. If anyone ever moved against him, he planned to release those files and take down half the government with him."
Deputy Commissioner Obi's voice was sharp with interest.
"How do you know this?" "Because I helped him set it up,"
Chitty said.
2 years ago. He needed someone who understood technology but wasn't part of his inner circle. Someone expendable. I installed the server, configured the encryption, showed him how to upload files remotely. He paid me 5 million naira and told me if I ever spoke about it, he'd kill my entire family. "Why are you telling us now?"
Amara asked.
"Because he's already trying to kill me,"
Chitty shouted, then groaned in pain.
"Because my family is already destroyed. Because I have nothing left to lose, and maybe, just maybe, if I help bring him down, my daughter won't grow up thinking her father was completely evil."
Ademola was already on another phone, speaking rapidly to someone. He turned to Deputy Commissioner Obi.
"Commissioner, I've got a tactical team ready to move on Eco Pearl Towers. But we need authorization. You have it,"
Deputy Commissioner Obi said immediately.
"Secure that apartment and that server. If what Mr. Okonkwo is saying is true, this could be the evidence we need to prosecute dozens of corrupt officials." "What about me?"
Chitty asked.
"What about my deal? If the server exists and contains what you say it does, we'll discuss a deal,"
Deputy Commissioner Obi said.
"But first, you're going back to the hospital under armed guard. You're a witness now, which means you're valuable. We'll protect you, but you're not entering this compound. You're not going anywhere near Mrs. Okonkwo or her daughter. Can I speak to Chioma?"
Chitty asked.
"Just for a minute? Please?"
Amara looked at her daughter. Chioma's face was hard, her jaw set, but there were tears in her eyes.
"It's your choice, baby,"
Amara said softly.
"You don't owe him anything."
Chioma was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke into the intercom, her voice cold and steady.
"I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. You're not my father anymore. Fathers protect their children. Fathers love their families. You're just a criminal who shares my DNA. If you want to do something good for once in your pathetic life, then give the EFCC everything you know about Senator Adeyemi. Help put him in prison for the rest of his life. That's the only thing you can do that will ever matter to me."
Amara heard Chitty's broken sob through the intercom.
"Chioma, baby, please." "Don't call me baby,"
Chioma said.
"Don't call me anything. You lost that right when you tried to steal from my mother. When you worked with the man who murdered my grandfather. When you brought your pregnant mistress into our home and threatened to send me away if I told anyone. She wasn't really pregnant,"
Chitty said weakly.
"She lied to me too. I was used, Chioma. Just like your mother was used. We're both victims here. No, Chioma said firmly. Mama is a victim. You're a criminal. There's a difference.
Deputy Commissioner Obi's voice cut through.
This conversation is over. Mr. Okonkwo, EFCC agents are coming to transport you back to the hospital. You'll be under guard 24 hours a day. If you cooperate fully, if the information you provided proves accurate, we'll discuss a reduced sentence. But your relationship with your family is finished. Accept that and move on. Amara,
Chitty said, one last desperate attempt.
Amara, I loved you. I know you don't believe me. I know I destroyed everything, but I did love you once. When we first met, when we first married, that was real.
Amara felt tears on her cheeks, but her voice was steady when she replied.
Maybe it was real once. But you killed whatever we had long before you tried to steal my inheritance. You killed it every time you hid me and called it an accident. Every time you told people I was crazy because of my blindness. Every time you made me feel small and helpless and worthless. That's not love, Chitty. That's abuse. And I won't spend another second of my life grieving what we could have been.
She reached over and cut the intercom connection. The silence in the security room was profound. Chioma leaned against her mother, and they held each other, while Ademla quietly coordinated the operation to secure Chitty and raid the apartment in Eco Pearl Towers.
You were very brave,
Amara told her daughter.
What you said to him, that took courage. I just told him the truth,
Chioma said.
He needed to hear it, and I needed to say it. Your grandfather would be proud of you,
Amara said.
I'm proud of you. Mama, do you think Daddy ever really loved us?
Amara considered the question carefully.
I think he loved what we represented. Security, respectability, access to your grandfather's wealth and connections. But real love? Love that puts someone else's needs above your own? Love that protects and nurtures and sacrifices? No. I don't think your father is capable of that kind of love. That's sad,
Chioma said.
Yes,
Amara agreed.
It is. But it's not our responsibility to fix him or save him. He made his choices. Now he has to live with the consequences.
Ademla approached them.
Mrs. Okonkwo, the tactical team has secured the apartment. They found the server exactly where your husband said it would be. Initial analysis suggests it contains terabytes of encrypted data, financial records, communications, video files. This is potentially the biggest corruption evidence cache in Nigerian history. So Chitty was telling the truth,
Amara said.
About the server, yes. Deputy Commissioner Obi is already working with cyber forensics to decrypt the files. This could take down dozens of politicians, maybe hundreds. Your husband just became the most valuable witness in the biggest corruption case Nigeria has ever seen. Will that help him?
Chioma asked.
Will he get a lighter sentence? Probably,
Ademla admitted.
Cooperation of this magnitude usually results in significant sentence reductions. He might serve only 5 to 10 years instead of 20 to 30.
Amara felt conflicted. Part of her wanted Chitty to rot in prison for the rest of his life for what he'd done. But another part, the part that still remembered the man she'd married, the father who'd once been good to their daughter, hoped he might find some redemption in helping bring down Adeyemi's entire network.
It's better than nothing,
she said finally.
And if it means more corrupt politicians go to prison, then I suppose it's worth it.
Emeka entered the security room, his face grim.
Amara, I just received word from the forensic team handling your father's exhumation. They've completed the preliminary analysis.
Amara's heart clenched.
And? Massive digitalis poisoning, exactly as we suspected. Your father's blood levels were 20 times the therapeutic dose. It was definitely murder, and the timeline matches Senator Adeyemi's communications about handling the Chief Nwosu problem. We have conclusive proof.
Amara felt grief and rage warring in her chest. She'd known intellectually that her father had been murdered, but having it confirmed, having the scientific evidence, made it unbearably real.
"So Adeyemi killed him,"
she whispered.
"He really killed him." "Yes,"
Emeka said gently.
"But now we can prove it. Now your father will have justice." "Justice,"
Amara repeated. The word felt inadequate. Justice couldn't bring her father back. Justice couldn't give her the years she'd lost to blindness and abuse. Justice couldn't erase the trauma her daughter had endured. But justice was better than nothing. Justice was what her father had fought for his entire life. And justice was what she would make sure he received.
"I want to make a statement,"
Amara said suddenly.
"A public statement. I want to tell Nigeria what Senator Adeyemi did to my family. I want everyone to know." "Are you sure?"
Emeka asked.
"Once you go public, there's no privacy left. You'll be in the spotlight permanently." "I'm already in the spotlight,"
Amara said.
"My face is on every news channel. I might as well control the narrative." "I'll arrange a press conference,"
Ademola said.
"We can do it here, in the compound, with full security. Tomorrow afternoon, after the EFCC has released more information about the server contents. That way, your statement will have maximum impact." "Tomorrow,"
Amara agreed.
"I'll tell Nigeria everything."
The rest of the day passed in a blur of activity. Deputy Commissioner Obi called with updates about the server. Early decryption had revealed evidence implicating 23 sitting senators, 15 governors, 42 federal ministers, and over 100 business executives in Adeyemi's corruption network. The scale was staggering.
"This is going to reshape Nigerian politics,"
Deputy Commissioner Obi said.
"Half the government is implicated. We're talking about the biggest political upheaval since independence." "Good,"
Amara said.
"Burn it all down. Start fresh."
As evening fell, Amara sat in her father's study with Chioma, surrounded by books and memories. This room smelled like him, cigars and leather, and the faint scent of the cologne he'd worn every day.
"Grandpa would have loved seeing Adeyemi go down,"
Chioma said.
"He would have loved seeing you stand up to your father today,"
Amara replied.
"That took real strength, baby. I learned it from you,"
Chioma said.
"And from Grandpa. Nwosu women don't back down." "No,"
Amara agreed, smiling.
"We don't." "Mama, what happens after the trial? After everything is finished?" "I don't know,"
Amara admitted.
"Maybe we travel. See the world. You can show me places through your eyes." "I'd like that,"
Chioma said.
"But Mama, I also want to do something with Grandpa's money. Something that would make him proud." "What did you have in mind?" "A foundation,"
Chioma said.
"For women who are trapped in bad marriages, who need help leaving, who need lawyers and security and support. Women like you were. We could help them, Mama. We could use Grandpa's money to save other families."
Amara felt tears welling up again, but this time they were tears of pride. Her 15-year-old daughter had survived trauma and terror and had emerged wanting to help others.
"That's a beautiful idea,"
Amara said.
"Your grandfather would love it. We'll call it the Chief Adebayo Nwosu Foundation for Women's Justice." "Really?"
Chioma asked excitedly.
"Really. We'll make it happen. After the trial, after everything settles, we'll build something good from all this pain. We'll make sure your grandfather's legacy isn't just about stealing money. It's about protecting the vulnerable and fighting corruption." "I can't wait,"
Chioma said.
"Mama, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to survive this." "More than survive,"
Amara said.
"We're going to thrive. We're going to show Nigeria what real strength looks like."
That night, as Amara lay in bed listening to the sounds of soldiers patrolling the compound, she thought about the journey that had brought her here. From the privileged daughter of a steel magnate to the abused wife of a criminal, from losing her sight to finding her voice, from victim to survivor to fighter. Tomorrow she would face the media. She would tell her story to the nation. She would show every woman trapped in a bad marriage, every person being abused by someone powerful, that resistance was possible, that justice was possible, that even when everything seemed hopeless, even when you couldn't see the path forward, you could still fight. Her father had taught her that steel was forged in fire. The past 3 years had been her fire. And she'd emerged stronger, harder, unbreakable. She was ready for whatever came next. Amara is about to go public with her story. Will her press conference change Nigeria forever? Don't miss the next chapter. Like and subscribe, and comment what you think Amara should say to the nation.